is the final race of Season 3, the second race of the weekend round from Suzuka. We had a fantastic race in round 1 race 1 with 10 cars on the grid, and it'll be reverse grid order this time around. Championship battles going on. Alessio DeBonis is of course the champion, but the battle for second place is still on. Martin Lauer trails Matt Wheeler by just 2 points heading into this race. And there's also a fantastic battle going on between Mark Klapzul and Mike Magasevich, who are even on 94 points, tied for 8th in the championship. The other notable thing is the continual climb of Dule Markovic, looking to get himself into the top 10 in the championship. His goal is to be at 79 points at the end of today's race. Sadly, that means he needs a podium. So we'll see what can happen there. Let's have a rundown of the grid. It's on pole, Tom Waz. Dule Markovic is starting from P2, with Mike Magasevich in 3rd. 4th is Mark Minahan, who I skipped over there. Rick Martel, 5th. Mike Mark, 6th. 7th, Mark Klapzul. 8th, Matthew Wheeler. 9th, Ben Schwari. And 10th, Martin Lauer. Let's kick it off. And they are away, and it's a pretty decent start from Waz. Pretty decent. Oh, Klapzul having a moment. Swerves across the track and takes out Matt Wheeler. And Mike Magasevich going way off track. So, you know what? We're just going to have a look at some of this action, because this is pretty amazing in a way, and pretty terrible in another way. Mark Klapzul with probably the most rolls we've seen all season. Alright, so what happened with Klapzul here? It's riding close with him. Goes in between Mark Minahan and Rick Martel, and they just kind of collected him. And he collects Matt Wheeler on his way off the track. And the other car of interest was Mike Magasevich, who went off at turn 1. Did he do it on his own, or was there a little bit of argy-bargy maybe? Yeah, just a little side-by-side contact with Mike Mark. Nothing too bad. In the meantime, Markovic has gotten out of the front because Waz made a mistake. Mike Mark is up in a second, making the BMW 1-2. Waz is trailing in 3rd for Audi. Then it's Rick Martel and Martin Lauer rounding off the top 5. Mark Minahan and Ben Schwari. And then the compromise cars of Magasevich, Wheeler, and Klapzul. Dule Markovic, if he wants to get in the top 10 in the standings and pass the absent car ratio, he needs a podium. That's just really all there is to it, as Tom Waz goes off at the second Degnas. That's going to promote pretty much everyone from 3rd down. Rick Martel now 3rd, Lauer up to 4th. Although Lauer and Martel collect each other, let's see that again. Very active first lap here. He just goes into the back of Martel. That's pretty much entirely on Lauer, I think. Magasevich got through, Waz got through, Wheeler's through. They may rejoin ahead of Klapzul. So Dule Markovic got a little bit of a gap back to his teammate Mike Mark, brandmate Mike Mark, I should say. Mark Minahan makes it an all BMW podium right now. Then it's the Audis of Schwari and Magasevich and Waz, 3 Audis in a row, until Matt Wheeler there taking 6th away. Rick Martel, Martin Lauer, and Klapzul. A bit of an odd one here to think that the top 5 is entirely devoid of Mercedes, as they of course have been the dominant brand pretty much all season. Magasevich made a mistake and has ended up behind Waz and Wheeler. I would think he went off for sure because he was not. He had a reasonable gap to them. Should be mentioned, Waz also appears to have overtaken Wheeler. So what happened here? So he gets a little bit wide, comes back on, and just wide again, just carrying too much speed. And Wheeler got there, but he ended up getting cut back on by Waz, and then they're going to catch up and pass Magasevich, who's lost a lot of speed. Rick Martel's also slipped to the back. I think he had a moment. Anyways, ultra exciting first lap led by Dule Markovic from Mike Mark and Mark Klapzul and Ben Schwari. Kind of the four guys who have had problems. Matt Wheeler's 5th. Mike Magasevich is 6th. Tom Waz has slipped back to 7th. 8th for Martin Lauer, who shortcuts the chicane. 9th for Mark Klapzul. And 10th for Rick Martel. Markovic has got a pretty decent lead. Good battle going on for 3rd right now. And Wheeler has dusted away Magasevich for 5th place. We'll ride with the battle between Minahan and Schwari. Minahan represents an all BMW podium if he can hold this spot against the Audi of Ben Schwari. We'll see if he can. Mike Mark closing up on Markovic up ahead as well, and Schwari putting the pressure on to Minahan. Goes down the inside, heading into 1080R, and takes the position. It's been a comparatively quiet race for the top 4. They were the ones that got away from the first lap without any real problems and have benefited because of it. Although Mark is the one who made contact with Magasevich. Sent him off at the first corner, although Magasevich has compromised his race further with a few mistakes after that. Like, he's had another one because he's back down into 10th place now. Oh, Magasevich is... That battle with Mark Klapzul, it looked like he had a blessing when Klapzul got absolutely destroyed at the start, but now Klapzul's up to 7th place, and he's back to 10th. Meantime, Ben Schwari has lost a spot again to Mark Minahan, so the all BMW podium is back into effect. Let's have a look at how that happened. It would have happened. It happened back in the. I'm not sure what happens. Just a very slow Ben Schwari. I wonder if he must have gone off the track at some point. There it is. So he gets a little bit wide here, overcorrects, loses the car a little bit, and hits the grass and just slows down. And Mark Minahan says, "Thank you for the podium, sir." Markovic still under pressure here from Mike Mark, who took his first win in the finale of the weekday series here in race 2. Looking to do the same here in the weekend. It's an all BMW podium right now. That's also a big pride mark. It would be Markovic's first win. It would be Minahan's first win. Ben Schwari has 1 win. So we're getting relatively new guys at the front right now. Matthew Wheeler, of course, in 5th place, looking to keep his position in the standings safe from Martin Lauer, who is 6th. Mark Klapzul 7th, 8th for Rick Martel, 9th is now Magasevich, as I feel that probably explains why he is past Tom Waz. Let's have a look. Looks like Waz has actually just parked it. Been an eventful 3 laps here at Suzuka. Markovic, you feel, is a little bit of the stopper in the bottle. I think he's slowing down this train, and it's letting Matt Wheeler come back into play, back in 5th place. And I imagine Martin Lauer is also catching. Markovic looking to make that front row start count for something. Tom Waz officially pulled off the track and is out of the race. Schwari putting the pressure back on Minahan. Mike Mark is, he's been closer to Markovic. Either he's taking a very patient line or Markovic has found a little bit of extra pace. Not sure which is more likely. Minahan under pressure here. As we head into the hairpin. Or pardon me, the big curve. Schwari gets out of shape. Holds it. Beautiful job of car control from the Audi driver. And hits that DRS, but Matt Wheeler is coming for him. Here comes Wheeler. Down the inside. Both it'd be surprising if he can make this pass, because he does not have DRS, I don't think. But he does it into 1080R. Fantastic move by the Mercedes driver, Matt Wheeler. Martin Lauer is coming on strong as well, his brand mate and rival for 2nd in the championship. So he's going to hope that Ben Schwari can keep Martin Lauer at bay while he moves on to challenge his country mate, Mark Minahan, for 3rd place. A fantastic run here from Wheeler, who was collected at the start of this race by Mark Klapzool on that spin, and is now onto the podium. Having a fantastic race. Helped out by a couple of incidents, but he's caught Schwari and he's caught Minahan, who have had relatively incident-free races, and has taken them for positions. Markovic still holding lead. Wheeler looks very uncomfortable through that twisting section. I have to wonder if that might come to bite him. So he's got pressure from the BMW of Minahan and the Audi of Ben Schwari. Martin Lauer is also coming on strong in the, again, the brand mate and rival in the championship, Mercedes. Rick Martel has taken 7th place off of Mark Klapzool. Let's have a quick look at how that happened. This looks like a normal pass. Klapzool getting a little bit, little slow through the S's here, and eventually ends up just getting past. Something has happened to Matt Wheeler. Let's have a look. Was in 3rd place. We were just talking about how good it was looking, but it looks like he's going to completely make a hash of this run up to the hairpin. Gets too much on the grass, can't control it, can't turn in for the hairpin, and through go the 3 cars right behind him, including the man he really didn't want passing him, Martin Lauer. He will, I imagine, rejoin ahead of this battle between Martel and Klapzool over 7th place. Mark Minahan getting very wide in the curb and loses 3rd place, his recently acquired 3rd place, to Ben Schwari, and now is under pressure from the Mercedes of Martin Lauer. Heading into 1080R. Markovic still leads. Minahan now back and forth. He started the race or the lap and forth behind Matt Wheeler, but now he's behind Ben Chouari and ahead of Matt Wheeler. Pressure on at the front. Mike Mark is looking for that lead. Like we said, one race 2 here during the weekday round. Would love to do it again. Would love to add win number 2 to his resume heading into the GT3 cars of next season. Would love to be thought of as a team leading driver, I'm sure, as the battle for the team leader spots is on. And one of the guys who needs to probably polish up his resume a little bit is Mike Mark. Putting the screws to Dule Markovic right now. Ben Chouari, Mark Minahan, Martin Lauer still standing pat. Wheeler, Martel, Klapzul, Magasevich. Looked like someone went off in the background, but it doesn't appear to be the case. Pressure heavily on here for fourth between Lauer and Minahan. And Lauer goes around the outside, showing that Mercedes superior pace. Chouari is really coming into this picture for the lead now with Markovic and Mark. In the background you can see Minahan and Lauer hanging on in 4th and 5th place. Lauer, I feel, is the danger man. I feel Chouari is the danger man. I think these two who were 1-2 in race 1 are still the men to beat. See if we finally see a Mark still has not made a committed move to take the lead of the race off Dule Markovic, who's now led for 6 laps. We appear to at some point have lost Matthew Wheeler, and that leaves us with just 8 cars running of the 10 that started. And that will give runner-up position in the championship to Martin Lauer. There's also a good little battle going on for 6th between Rick Martel and Mark Klapzul. Very important for Klapzul, although looks like he's pretty much got it. They came in even on points with Magasevich. He is ahead of him in the race. I believe this will end the battle for 8th unless something terrible happens. Dule Markovic still leading here. There's just 1 lap after this. It's just an 8-lap race, so you gotta wonder, has Mike Mark kind of missed the boat by not making a concerted effort? Mark Minahan has fallen off the back of this. He's back in 5th place. Still within visual range of the battle, but not really an active part of it anymore. But I think any one of these 4 cars could still pick up the victory. I think it's between Mark Markovic, Chouari, and Lauer. Chouari looking for a move, setting up Mike Mark. Feel like he might be the fastest of the bunch, but he's been held up behind for a while, hasn't been able to make the passes. And Lauer, despite I don't think quite having the pace Chouari's had in this race, is the guy who's been able to attack traffic and deal with passes very quickly. So he's definitely still in this hunt. Mark Klapzul appears to have gotten around Rick Martel. Looks like somewhere the prior lap he's classified in 6th place at the moment. We missed that by a fair bit, it would appear. But they're having a hell of a fight. Or maybe not. Hang on, we're gonna have a look at this because Klapzul is utilizing the DRS. This means he made this pass somewhere on this lap. So let's have a look. I feel like we might have our answer here. Indeed. Looks like he carries a little bit more speed through the curb, makes a little bit cleaner exit of the section, and then goes for it. DRS engaged. And that just makes this like just an impossible situation to defend going into 1080R. Mark Labzul is through. Back in, well, I believe back into 6th place. He was ahead of Martel at some point, whether that was for 6 or not, I don't know. Does have a hard time slowing himself down for that that chicane, though, to end the lap. And then gets back on the DRS here in the straightaway. Meanwhile, at the front, it's still in the same order, but honestly, you feel like you could turn this on its head. These guys could finish anywhere in this top 4. It is the last lap. It is perhaps one of the most tension-filled starts to a last lap we have ever had in Zero Racing. We'll see what happens. Mike Mark goes for it. Markovic made a mistake. And Mark is going to go through. Heading into the hairpin. Schwari's going to go through. Contact. Schwari makes it through. Is the contact going to allow Martin Lauer through? He's going for it on Mike Mark as well. So much action here right now. So much action here. And Ben Schwari from 3rd place to the lead in basically 2 turns. Lauer's coming through to 3rd place. Markovic has been shuffled from 1st back to 4th. He needed a podium to finish ahead of Carl Raggio. I don't think the door is closed, but he's going to have to put in a mighty fine effort here right now. Schwari with the DRS. That's going to help him a lot. Martin Lauer. Oh, wrong way. Going on. A failed move there heading into the chicane. Just the chicane left. Here comes Markovic. And disaster. Markovic collects Lauer. Here comes Mark Minahan. He's suddenly back into this. Let's have a look at that real quick. Markovic comes from a ways back. Looks like he could have made the turn, though. Just had a really good line there, but Lauer tried to close the door, and yeah, you can't do that. Ben Schwari takes the win, his 2nd of the season from Mike Mark. Dule Markovic is 3rd, but may be facing a penalty for contact with Martin Lauer. Lauer is 4th. Minahan is 5th. Looks like Mark Labzul has held on to 6th without too much problem. Actually, he's pulled away a little bit from Rick Martel. He'll be 6th for BMW. Martel, 7th. And 8th will be Mike Magasevich. We lost Matt Wheeler and Tom Waz during the race. This will mean Martin Lauer is the runner-up. It's going to mean that Mark Labzul has beaten Magasevich in the duel. Their ancient rivalry, it seems, for 8th place. And Markovic, like I said, right now is in the top 10, but he may face some level of penalty for the hit on Martin Lauer. That's all for Season 3. Be sure to tune in for Season 4, where it's going to be GTs, the BMW Z4s, and a couple of other cars will be allowed as well. Join in then. We'll have some team battles, and we get some new guys coming in, some very quick ones. It's looking to be a great season. So till next time, this is Zero Racing.